Another day, moving on to the brakes. I've squirted that firewall with primer right there to see where my hole goes. I've got two vertical, or actually just one. And there's a couple more in here too. One vertical mount here on the side. It looks like maybe two on the bottom. Looks like somebody's cut that other tab off of that. So I need to put myself a brace in here, and then I'll have to run it across the frame. I'll cut me up some pieces and see what I got here. I think sometimes my videos are too long and boring, but a friend of mine tells me I should make them longer. But anyway, what I've got is I've got to bend this area right here. So all I've done is take my my cutoff tool here, and I've just cut me a bunch of notches. This is going to go right in down here in the frame, and it'll start bending like this across to the frame. Looks like I might have made it a little bit short. Should have made it a little longer. Well, anyway, that's all I'm going to do is just use this now to bend this into this curve and then weld it in. I just clamped this here on the bottom, and now all I'm doing is just taking a pair of vice grips or a C-clamp or basically anything that'll fit in there, and you just clamp your curve in like that, and that'll give you a good solid thing to weld to. Looks like I've got a little bit of curve right in this area here, so I'll put a few more cuts in it. Cut all of this panel out right here. I shouldn't have done that. I should have left myself a little bit of metal to put back over it, but it really wouldn't have done me a lot of good, because you know, this is a kind of a curved piece. So what I'll do with this piece here, once I get it welded in, I'll probably put a little piece of metal back here and weld it, because I want that to be straight, and then I'll just smooth this all out with Bondo. Got our brace welded in here. It looks like I've got maybe a quarter of an inch that's sticking over. I think I'm going to just cut this right in here and lay me a piece and just weld that right straight to the body there, and that'll cover up that whole area. Now I'm going to try to see what I can do about bending this back for a curve here. I did a little hammer in there. That looks pretty good. It just bent back at about a 40-degree angle. Same thing, I can just cut this off all the way up here, and I can weld this whole thing into the body, and we'll have myself a pretty nice solid piece. This can just sit in here for now, but it'll come out, as you see. That's all I'll do to the other side. I'll just bend that at a 45-degree angle, or some angle. This has all been tacked in here good and wire brushed down. Now I know what I'm going to do with this side. I'll go ahead and make me a piece for the other side now. Alright, I cut up my other piece here. It's going to go in this area. Notice I got quite a few in the top and just a few in the bottom. Sharper the angle, the more cuts you want in it. This should be plenty for what I need. I got a little bit of an angle right here, so that's why the bottom ones are in there. Second time's always better. This time I started at the top. Cut my piece way too long so I can cut it off. And matched it up here and then tweaked it in where it's all matching pretty good here. And it looks like this might be sticking out just a little too much, but it'd be pretty easy to hammer this around once it's welded. So anyway, that's about where this goes. Now I'm just going to tack that up into there, and that'll be this corner. I got that welded up a bit, and edge of my firewall cut off, so it looks pretty good from here. That'll give me room to weld a plate over all of that stuff. That'll look pretty decent. Now I'll do this side the same way I did the other one. Do this with one hand here. All I did was put it just mark it with a thing. I didn't do that good a job, but it's pretty close. I know what I'm doing, so now I cut that piece out. Well, there we go. Pretty close. And I know this piece has been up, but I can just tweak that around and get it to where it'll fit. Looks pretty good so far. Piece will cover that up nicely on this side. I've got to have to bend my angle there on the bottom. Take a hammer and do that. That angle's kind of been in about where I need it. Once I weld it, then it'll be a little more steady and I can bend it a little better. But basically, we got both sides in. Fits pretty good. I did something on here. I actually notched this old frame and then beat it with a hammer back in here and then welded it. Where the other one over here, it was just pretty close to it and then I welded flush to it. But this is set back a quarter of an inch or so, and my plate goes here. And on this one, I made it where the plate sits on here flush. This is probably the better way to do it, but compared to that, you can see it's not quite as good. I may notch that one a little and try to bend it out, get a little bit of a curve into it. It'll help when I go to weld it in. But yeah, it don't look too bad. Main thing is its strength. It's got the right shape. When I weld it into this big piece here, everything will work out good. The next thing I got to do is drill me some holes here for my brake. It'll be much easier to do it out here than it will once I put this all in there and weld it. But that'd be the last thing I'll do is just mount that brake. I gotta put some kind of a bar or something on here so I can bolt it down and it'll be solid, and maybe a cross brace across here. I'm not sure what I'll do there, but I want to make sure that's good and solid. And the rest of it shouldn't take too much longer, and I'll just weld it into the body and I'll be done with this.